Hello, everybody. It's your boy Brian. Welcome back to my channel. How you doing today? Hope you're doing good. Hope you're doing good. I'm doing fantastic. I woke up this morning feeling good. When I got a haircut yesterday, when I got the hair chopped off, got a little lineup going. So I woke up this morning feeling myself a little bit. It's been a pretty good day. Went and talked to my therapist for the first time in like 4 months, 4 or 5 months. And I had a lot to say, had a lot of stuff to get off my chest, and it felt good to be back. Felt good to go back to her. Um, Had a lot to say, and she 100% earned her paycheck today. So thank you for that. I hope you all are doing good too. Today, we have some more Reddit stories, some more Reddit true off my chest stories. I haven't read them, but the titles again are interesting. So we're going to hop in and see what these people got going on. If you're new to the channel, thanks for giving me a click, like and subscribe. Comment down below if you feel so inclined. If you are coming back to the channel, thanks for coming back. Thanks for rocking with your boy so far. We just starting out, so let's keep moving forward. Nowhere to go but up, right? So, first story today. Okay, I hate my wife. That sucks. That sucks, man. First impressions, yeah. I mean that's not great. If you're married, you probably shouldn't hate your partner. Probably shouldn't hate your spouse. And if it doesn't bode well, right? It's unfortunate. Oh, by the way, all three of today's stories are relationship stories. I by no means am a relationship master. Relationships are hard. Relationships are really hard. Things happen. It takes a lot of self discovery, a lot of looking within to fix yourself. For the betterment of yourself and your partner. A lot of compromise, a lot of communication, man, and it's not. They're not easy. So I feel for the people in these posts, and I hope that whatever they got going on, I hope that they can work things out with their partners or to find a way to persevere, or if not, worst coming to worst, separate or whatever, whatever works best for them. Um, so yeah, I just wanted to start off by saying that. But okay, I hate my wife. I'm 25, my wife is 26, and we've been married for 2 years now. I know I've been married real early, but I'm too stupid to know it now. Most of my family and friends told me don't marry that early, but I was a fool not to hear their words. I was a fool for her. I loved her. We were in college together, and I know her well, but now everything is different. I knew her well, but now everything is different. She became more different since we lived together. We fight regularly. She always thinks that I'm talking to other girls and stuff, but I'm not. She became crazy about that topic. She is also careless, and we have a dog. She rarely takes care of her too. I've talked with her and even argued about everything, but with no point and no progress. She's becoming more and more lazy. She always wakes up late, and her mentality isn't good anymore. She's too needy, but do not give. I don't feel happy at all over 1 year straight. We have no child also, which is by choice. I don't know what to sow. I don't know what to do. That's probably what he meant. And by the way, since marriage, I've cut off all my relationships with my friends, females, for her because she's too jealous and stuff. But now I regret everything. I regret marrying, and I regret taking that decision. Any thoughts that can make this better, or my only choice is to divorce? And divorcing is also a hard decision to take here, while the families will get involved. But if it's my last resort, then F it. Okay, so this guy's 25, his wife is 26, been married for 2 years, and they're obviously having issues. They argue, a lot, and the arguments don't really seem to go anywhere. He's given up his female friendships for her because he says that she's jealous, and I guess she didn't want him talking to her, want them talking to him. Um, like at all, or you know, yeah. So I mean, as far as as his wife not wanting him to have female friends, that is that's something that definitely needs to be discussed. Her concerns, if she is jealous, her concerns are understandable. Um, not wanting her husband to be too accessible to other women. So it's something that needs to be discussed though. Like if a man enters a relationship with a woman and that man has a lot of female friends, it's something that he should bring up to her and something that he should make sure that he discusses with her to see if it's something that she's okay with. Um, and if she's not okay with it, then at that point you can either decide, okay, I'll give up these friendships for her, or I'm not okay with her not being okay with me having female friends. Maybe I need to walk away, right? So it's either you could either sacrifice your female friend relationships for the sake of your relationship with your girlfriend, your wife, whatever, or you can decide like maybe having a girlfriend or a wife that isn't okay with you having female friends. Maybe that's not a good choice for you, right? So you have to make that decision, which can be hard, right? It's something that can be hard, but it's something that can be worked on with communication. Um, so he said that his friends and family warned him not to get married too early, but he didn't really listen to them. They loved each other since college, and things were one way back in college, but now after being married for 2 years, they've kind of hit a wall. He says that she's lazy, doesn't really have any ambition, um, which is that's something that should probably be addressed before marriage, right? Like, what was she doing? Was she lazy when you guys got together? Did she have any ambition when you guys got together? And then just over the 2 years, she just stopped being ambitious. She just got lazy, or was this how she was when you met and you kind of maybe let it go by the wayside and kind of overlooked it, right? Like, laziness is something that that can be discussed early on. Jealousy issues is something that can be discussed early on. Um, so part of me is wondering, like, how long were they having these issues before getting married, right? And if maybe he got married to her knowing that those issues were already a thing, and maybe he hoped they would get better. Um, but yeah, so he wants to know if he should divorce or not. And honestly, if it's really having that big of an impact on your life and you're not happy in your marriage, divorce is definitely an option. Even if you're afraid of your family getting involved with the decision and kind of putting in their 2 cents on your life, like if you're not happy, overall you're not happy, and you think that you and your wife can't reconcile, you can't come to an agreement, you can't come to a compromise, then yeah, divorce is an option. Otherwise, talk to your wife, tell her how you feel. Communication is not easy. I know from personal experience, communication is very hard sometimes. So yeah, you just gotta have those hard conversations, and I guarantee once you do have those hard conversations, you're gonna feel so much better. Like once you actually get things out in the open, and whether it's the result is what you want or not, like everything's gonna be out in the open, and you're gonna be able to talk about things. So you'll feel a lot better afterwards, even if you don't get the result that you want. Um, so yeah, if you guys can't reconcile, I would, divorce is an option, right? You can always try to work things out. Let's go down to the comments and see what they got going on. All right, first comment: relationships are hard, even if you have a great one that's full of love. You could always try couples counseling if you think it's worth it, and she would go. but you are also both still young. Follow your gut. Life is short and you deserve happiness. I wish you all the best. 100%, man. 100%. I agree with this comment. Relationships are relationships are not, they are no joke, man. They are no joke. They will test you. They will test you, you know. They're not easy. Um yeah, so go to counseling if you think it'll help is what this person is saying. And they are both young. They're 25, 26. They're super young. So like, even if things don't work out between them now, they still have time to grow as individuals to maybe one day grow to a point where they are ready to find a partner that they can match well with, that they mesh well with. Um, so yeah, that was a good comment. All right, next comment. Well, as someone that initiated divorce with my first marriage, I would say that sometimes for some people, divorce could be the best decision of their life. Be cautious, of course. Give it a very good thought. But your goal is to be happy, to feel loved, and have someone to love. Now, think what has to change in your current relationship to have all of that. Communicate very clearly to your wife that the boundaries are crossed. Things have changed, effort has to be made, and probably from both sides, as you will need to be patient. And you can simply look whether your wife is willing to put effort to it. You don't want to make decisions without doing everything you can to fix things, but you shouldn't be afraid of option to divorce. It's one of the possibilities, and maybe it's the best one for everyone, not for you alone. Yeah, I mean, this comment says a lot of what I was saying. Divorce is an option, so you shouldn't be afraid of it, right? It's an option if things get too bad, but there are things you can do before that to kind of try to work things out. And again, that it takes communication. You have to open up to your partner and tell them like what's really on your mind, which can be incredibly hard, man. But it's something that you have to do. You have to be open and you have to communicate. Otherwise, how's your partner going to know what's really going on, and how are they going to fix things if they don't know what the problem is, right? And I'm preaching to the choir because I've been in that situation so many times. So I understand where you're coming from, man. But you gotta initiate that conversation, the conversations, to either try to fix things or have things come to an end. So yeah, man, I wish you the best of luck. I hope things work out either way, whatever the decision is. All right, moving on to the next story. My girlfriend would be so mad if she found out, but I have to tell someone before I burst. Okay, so this guy did or said something that he knows is gonna piss off his girlfriend. Hasn't told her yet, but he has to tell somebody. So he's on Reddit. Draw off my chest. Let's go. All right, so I have some memory problems, not like clinically, but enough to affect daily life. This can understandably really pee off my girlfriend. Like if she asked me to sort out her laundry and I forgot about it for 6 hours, or if she like asked me what I ate for lunch and I say I forgot to eat. Like she isn't actually mad at me for forgetting, but it can get really inconvenient, especially if it's about chores and I write so many notes and reminders for everything to try and do better. Sometimes my forgetfulness can get dangerous, like forgetting to turn the hob off. Don't know what a hob is, but I'm guessing maybe like water or gas. Um, I've done it many times. Anyway, the story I wanted to say is the other day I went out by myself for a few hours just to go for a walk. I live in a city, so I drove out a little bit and parked up outside a shop in a pretty busy area. I took myself on a little walk, and after an hour, I started to make my way back to the car, but I realized I couldn't find my keys. I dug through my bag, all through my pockets, went back to everywhere I went and sat, asked people around me, everything. No sign of my keys. I thought, this is fully going to put me in the shit house. Like, losing all of my keys, including my car key, I knew this would stress my GF out so much. So after all my searching, I started heading back to my car, keeping my eyes on the ground and hoping for any sign of the keys. When I eventually got back to my car, I realized it was unlocked. It was unlocked. I thought, thank God, maybe I can hotwire it somehow. as if I had any clue how to do that. But then I realized the keys were in the ignition and the car engine was still running. I got out of my car. I got out of my car, forgetting to turn the engine off, forgetting my keys, and forgetting to lock it. I was so relieved and horrified with myself at the time. Thank God I drove further out of the city, but it's not like I was completely isolated. There was still quite a lot of traffic around where I parked. It was for real a miracle that it wasn't stolen. Plus, I'm poor, so my insurance would have done nothing for me, even if it was stolen. So that's my confession. I have a horrible time keeping secrets, but this is one story that I'm definitely keeping to myself, unless I want my girlfriend to have a heart attack, which wouldn't be ideal. I had to tell someone though. Okay, so so this guy has memory problems, which I mean, that's kind of a big deal. Like, I don't. He got out of his car for. He got out of his car, forgot to turn off the engine, forgot to take the keys out, and forgot to lock it. I mean, like, that's a lot, right? Like, how do you get out of your car and just skip all of those steps? Like, drive. That's just. It should be. Eventually, it should get to a point where it's like second nature, right? Like, you you get out of your car, you make sure you have your car key, you take the car key, you lock the door, right? I don't think I've ever even gotten close to doing something like this, just because like I've done it, so getting out of my car, locking my car, I've done it so many times that it's kind of like second nature now. Um, but this guy says that he's got a bad memory and he forgets to do things. Yeah, man, maybe you should seek some help for that. Maybe you should try seeing somebody to help remedy whatever the issue is with your memory. Um, and I don't know what that could be. Going to see a physician, maybe talk to a therapist about the issues you're having with your memory. Therapist, psychiatrist. See if it's so bad that you might need medication, or see what techniques you can use to try to improve your memory. Or maybe it's not even a matter of memory. Maybe it's just a matter of being distracted, right? Like, getting out of your car, forgetting to take your keys out, forgetting to lock it. It doesn't really seem like you forgot to do these things. It seems like you were just distracted, right? Like maybe you had so much other stuff going on in your head that it just kind of like you just didn't even think about doing, grabbing your keys and locking the door. Maybe, yeah, I think it could be a distraction and maybe not memory so much in this situation. But yeah, I don't think your girlfriend might be mad at you initially, but the in the end the situation worked out, right? Like you found your car keys, the car wasn't stolen, you know. So she might be mad initially, but like in the end things worked out. So, you know, obviously I don't know his girlfriend and how she reacts to things, but it, in my mind telling her this story shouldn't be, that big of a problem. But, again, I don't know her. But in the end, everything worked out. So let's move on to the comments and see what they got to say. First comment: have you seen a doctor about this? This doesn't seem like your normal forgetfulness. Agreed. Like it sounds like something else could be going on. And he should go see a doctor to see if there's anything he can do to improve the situation, because it is a bit excessive. Next comment: are you my husband? Seriously though, for real, my husband started doing stuff like this after he had several mini strokes. OP, go see a doctor and get the all clear, please. That level of forgetfulness is not normal. Yeah, so I agree. Yeah, this is go get checked out and see if there's anything a doctor can do or doctors can do to help you out and fix whatever the issue might be. Yeah. Uh, we'll do one more comment. Sounds like ADHD to me. I've locked my keys in a running vehicle once. I've lost my keys for hours, only to be right in front of my face exactly where I thought I left them. I've locked my keys in my trunk so many times, I've become very efficient at picking locks, just to name a few. So yeah, maybe ADHD, you know, starting one thing, just a lot of things going on in your head, starting one thing and then forgetting, moving on to something else, and then forgetting that you started the first thing or the first several things, and just kind of moving on to different things without revisiting or coming back and, you know, being distracted. Yeah, so definitely I agree with the comments. Definitely go to a doctor and get checked out. See what you can do. All right, last story. I switched phones with my girlfriend for 24 hours. She lasted 3 hours before begging to switch back. I switched phones with my girlfriend for 24 hours. She lasted 3 hours before begging to switch back. Uh, I don't. I think that's a terrible idea to begin with, right? Like switching phones with your partner for 24 hours. Like, I mean, why are you guys like suspicious of each other that you're doing things that you shouldn't be doing, or like what was the purpose of them switching phones for 24 hours? And yeah, so I mean, she wanted to switch back pretty fast, so that could be an indicator that something isn't right, or maybe there's something on there she doesn't want him to see. um so let's hop in and see what's going on. It started off as a dumb trust challenge kind of thing. Oh, there you go. Trust challenge. I okay, kind of thing. We were just chilling and talking about how couples always say they have nothing to hide. So I was like, "All right, let's prove it. Switch phones for 24 hours, no deleting, no snooping, just live with it." She laughed, said sure, gave me her phone. I gave her mine. All cool, right? Bro, not even 3 hours in, and she starts acting weird, like jumpy. Kept asking what I was doing on the phone. If I checked her socials, her messages, I said, nah, just chilling, watching TikToks. Then she goes quiet. 15 minutes later, she's like, hey, can we cancel the challenge? I thought she was joking. She wasn't. She looked stressed, like genuinely scared. She said she's not in the right headspace for this and that it's giving her anxiety. I handed it back without saying a word. She cried. I never even opened the text. Didn't need to. Shit changed after that. Still trying to figure out if I'm overreacting or if my gut just got confirmation without even needing proof. All right. Well, yeah. Man, it's if she had that strong of a reaction, then there could be something on her phone that she doesn't want you to see. Doesn't necessarily mean she's like cheating. Um, it could just mean there's stuff on there that she doesn't necessarily want you to see. Like, and that's fine. Like conversations that she might be having with like friends and family that might be personal, or maybe she was venting to them about you or in the relationship, and um, it could be anything. Um, so yeah, I this is this is not a good situation to be in. Um, and it kind of sounds like he wasn't worried about anything. Like he was fine with giving her his phone. Um, and it doesn't look like she found anything just based off of what OP is saying here. It doesn't sound like he had anything incriminating on his phone. It just sounds like she freaked out about him having access to hers and wanted to change back really fast. So, you know, I I don't know. This is difficult. Um, so he says that things change afterwards, but he doesn't really explain how things change, like if things aren't good between them, or like if she's not talking to him as much. He didn't really explain how things changed. But yeah, I mean, it could be cheating. It could just be maybe she has something on there that she didn't want you to see, which, it's not necessarily a bad thing. Like, people are entitled to their privacy. So, yeah, I mean, that it does suck though. I'm not going to lie. So let's hop into the comments and see what people are saying. I have absolutely nothing to hide from anyone. I get highly stressed when someone else has my phone in their hands. I have no idea why. It's almost like a full on panic attack. Yeah, like I think it's just a sense of like of privacy and a sense of having your own, this like your own thing, your own security, your own sense of privacy. Even if you don't have anything crazy on your phone, it's still like, man, somebody else has my phone. Like they can see like all my stuff, like even if there's nothing bad on there, you know. So I kind of get that comment. Next comment. I don't think she would have handed it over like that if she was genuinely cheating. Is she on her phone for a prolonged amount of time daily? She may be severely addicted, as most of us are, though crying seems a bit excessive. You should probably have a talk with her, and if you're still not satisfied, think on it for a while because there's clearly a lack of trust going on. Yeah, well, I mean, the lack of trust, I don't know. Like, so I wouldn't necessarily say lack of trust initially. Lack of trust after switching phones, yes, but lack of trust initially didn't seem to be a problem. Um, yeah, in the comments saying that maybe she's just really attached to her phone, even if she doesn't have something incriminating on it, she could just really be attached and addicted to it, and just miss it being out of her hands, right? Which is, you know, I can see that too. Um, we'll do one more comment. I'm definitely going with addicted. I'm absolutely addicted to my phone, and I would probably end up the same way if I did this with my partner. The only thing I have to hide is the exact number of old memes I have saved, and a slightly embarrassing number of stupid, colorful phone games. But I've curated my feeds to be exactly what I want to see. And oh my gosh, you can check in on my farm. I worry about those little digital piggies. Okay. Yeah, so this person's also saying that it could just be a matter of her being addicted to her phone and her being uncomfortable with it being out of her hands for a prolonged period of time, just because she's so used to having access to it, which could also be a thing. Um, yeah, this isn't great, but you know, it kind of seems like again a little bit of communication might go a long way in this situation. Just let her know your concerns. Let her know, you know, how things have changed after you guys did this little phone experiment, and talk to her and see if you guys can kind of change it to go back to the way things were. Um, yeah, so that's it for now. No updates as far as I can see, but I will keep an eye out to see if any of these stories have updates, just so that we're not left in the dark. All right, that's the third story. Thank you guys again for joining me and for hanging out and discussing some Reddit stories. If you have anything you want to say, go ahead and leave a comment down below. If you're new, like, subscribe, leave a comment or two. If you're returning, thank you for coming back. Thank you for continuing to rock with me. I'm just getting started, so sky's the limit, right? All right. Thanks again, guys, and we'll see you in the next video.